Hey. Dang.
Antisocial experience 133. Spinal remains.
Spinal remains.
Nick.
Jimmy.
Back again, broadcasting from the wonderful, marvelous eastern coast of the United States. On a warm day. I didn't even check the temperature.
Oh, dude, it's definitely... It's got to be in the 90s.
It could be.
If not, high 80s.
Yeah. I mean, I'll buy it. You tell me and I'll buy it. I'm buying.
I'm interested. I'm taking a quick look. Yeah, I need to know now.
Let me take this moment.
88 degrees.
Yeah, let me take this moment and just say that we are... Oh, they're crisscrossing. Someone disable one and then bring the other one up. I'm gonna wait for it. You can connect on Clean Feed. Check the link in the description. Wherever you may be watching this, there should be a description. You can check the link for Clean Feed. And then if you got to do the old dial in, we can do a single caller. That's the way it is. That's how it works.
Crisscross will make you jump.
Dude, I'm waiting on one of them to die. They've been around a while.
Are they still going? I didn't know that.
I think so. I think that they bring back the hits.
Yeah, it's one of the Milli Vanilli brothers that died.
Right, correct.
Yeah, didn't he kill himself?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
And I actually watched a documentary on the other one. It's pretty fascinating, like how they were...
Yeah, didn't they do like a legit behind the music on them at one point? Yeah.
How they were brought into the game and just...
Like taken advantage of. Yeah, they're taking advantage of big time.
Awful.
Yeah.
Awful, man, awful.
Yeah, man. It's almost like they didn't even know what they were, you know what I mean? Like they did and they didn't.
Yeah, no, they totally did, totally didn't.
Right. Yeah, you almost feel bad. Yeah, you do feel bad for them. Like, that's, yeah.
Such is life sometimes.
Yeah, man. Like, I know who, I'm, small town boy from PA, but I know who Milli Vanilli is.
Somebody's pushing you, and you got people screaming your name, whatever. Everybody wants you. Everybody wants to see you, hear from you. You got people throwing money at you, rushing you to sign a contract. You gonna take time to read the fine details?
No, man, I'm signing it. You flashing money in my face? That's just like when somebody wants something moved at work extra. You know what I mean? Like they're like, oh, can you do this, and that? I'll be a little iffy sometimes, but when they're flashing green, like I don't care if it's a piano, dude. I'll strap it to my back and get it to where they need to go. They're flashing a 20. Like money talks.
All that and a bag of chips
That's
for
right.
just $1 more.
That's right. But some people, like I ran into issue Friday quick. I was delivering and a lady wanted me to take her refrigerator door off, and I'm like, I can't do that, and she didn't understand why, and I'm like, because if I break your fridge, I have to buy you a new one.
Right.
I can't.
Why did she want you to take her door off?
Because the way the entrance was that we had to go through, you had to go through the kitchen. Well, the entrance was here, and it was a tight entrance to begin with. Well, the refrigerator door handle actually came out and like took up some of the entrance way.
So you had to wiggle it through.
Well, it never went through. I never got it. That's why I said it to you earlier about having to unload the freaking 2 deliveries all day because none of them fit. Then we took the other couch upstairs in this people's house, and it wouldn't fit. But they still tipped me $20, so they were cool.
People buying stuff too big for their place.
Yeah, people just, I don't know. You see furniture, I guess you just assume, you know what I mean, it'll fit. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I have experience in some of that. We got one of those couches that it's wired up for if you have the adapters. I think it has heat and vibration.
Yeah.
And it's one of the kind that you can smack up against the wall and it'll still recline out fully.
Yep.
But to get that to where, to my castle, my domain, we actually had to rip the rails off of it, tear it down, break it down into pieces.
I believe that.
To get it up there, dude. It's like a...
Yeah, I've been to your place before. It's like,
yep. You do a U-turn going upstairs.
We ran into that issue into a place in State College, same deal. It was like a U-turn in the steps and just not happening.
Yeah. There's just some stuff you're not getting through there.
Nah, man, it is what it is. Some, spaces are too narrow.
You rip it down.
Or you rip the couch to pieces.
Right to the skeleton. I'm going to take, let's pull up the chat today. I'm going to keep that up there. We'll throw that up.
Yeah, keep it up.
Looks a little weird, but hey, it can.
Is it me or the chat?
What's that?
That's looking weird.
Yeah,
I was only
I
joking.
I never set that one up, so I don't think that'll work.
No, I was just joking.
I hate wasting time. Better. All right, yeah, I never set it up, so that's fine. Moving on. You started talking about something today, and it was I was kind of thinking of the same thing, but just the world and it's just a recurring theme on this show: the world then versus the world now.
Right.
Right. I remember the world growing up. I remember going to SeaWorld, to Conneaut Lake Park, to Geauga Lake.
Yes.
Those, I mean, at the time, the places were a blast, but at the time, I didn't, I mean, did my parents have it in mind? Probably not. Maybe, I don't know. But I didn't have in mind, like, how are they treating these animals, these
Right.
fish, mammals.
No, you're a kid. You're up close to a freaking killer whale and stuff. Like, that's cool.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? For a 5-year-old, that's cool, man.
Walk under where the fish are swimming.
Yeah, like,
it's nuts stuff.
yeah, dude. Especially, for a young kid, like, it's amazing.
Well, and you said SeaWorld's been shut down for a while.
Right.
There's a pretty good, I think, a real good documentary on it. Blackfish,
Oh, really?
I think it's called.
All SeaWorld shut down.
I don't know about all.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I know there's a documentary called I think it's Blackfish, and it's dealing with the killer whales at SeaWorld and that, and how they treated them,
Gotcha.
what all they had done to them.
Yeah. But that place, the SeaWorld, Ohio, the one we were talking
Yeah,
about, like
that's where I went.
that place always interests me too, because like it was so cool because like I said, you could, you'd be in SeaWorld, but across the lake, you could see Geauga Lake Park, like
Right.
two parks, like right there, you know what I mean? So this was, I want to say 2014 when I finally went back to, that area of Ohio. We went down to
SeaWorld wasn't open, right?
no, but there's a water park in place of SeaWorld. Where SeaWorld was, there's now like, a legit water park. And I don't know if it was a Six Flags or like a sandcastle or what it was, but it was, it was a decent sized water park. But I'm like, I remember you used to be able to look across this lake and see a different theme park. I'm like, I wonder if it's still open. Well, I walk up to the edge or like where the beach was, and I don't know if you remember, like the SeaWorld was like tied with Baywatch for a long time.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, a little bit.
And they did like this whole Baywatch thing at SeaWorld. It was like a whole scene where they came out on boats and rescued people all dressed like David Hasselhoff and Pamela Anderson and all that. Yeah. So that went on
It was
in
one of
this
their shows.
Right. And that went on in this spot. Okay. That's where they would have watched this back in the day. I remembered. But you could look and see this park. Well, when I looked this time, obviously the bleachers and all that's gone. You look across the lake and it's skeletal spinal remains of freaking, Ferris wheels, roller coasters.
Looks like a scene out of like Chernobyl.
Yeah, like if you played Call of Duty, I think it was Modern Warfare that had the Chernobyl scene in it.
Yeah, believe it or not, a lot of games take place in like a Chernobyl inspired based map, or actually there,
Right.
or somewhere over in Poland, over in that area. Which Poland isn't the same place as Chernobyl, I get that, but
Right. Where it was Chernobyl, Russia?
it's up above the Ukraine.
The Ukraine. Okay.
Yeah, like way up.
Okay.
But I think that's Russia. I'm not great with geography.
I'm not either. That's why I was asking.
It's crazy to see, and granted, Chernobyl, SeaWorld, that's two different
Yes, perspectives and like
two different ends of the spectrum. One was a nuclear disaster, and the other one was just
a rotting amusement park.
rotting amusement park.
But
for
like,
sure.
what I don't see is like how are these things just left to rot? Like, don't you think they'd be worth money that they're, you know what I mean? Like some carny would buy.
I think some stuff may be sold off.
Yeah, but like
That
some are
seemed
just
like part of the move to do.
yeah.
And then I guess the most useful stuff. Like, I don't know. I know I believe, don't quote me on it, don't hold me 100% to it, but I believe there's some money on wooden roller coasters.
Yeah, speaking of
The
which,
few places that I've been to that had them, tried to keep them going for as long as possible. And I'll tell you what, I've never been on a scarier ride than some of them old wooden roller coasters. I've never been on a more fun one either.
I was on the world's oldest roller coaster yesterday. World's oldest wooden roller coaster yesterday, which is located in Lake Mont Park. It is called Leap the Dips.
Yeah, is there even anything there?
Okay, that's what kind of brought us into this. Yeah.
Right.
So we go there, and I'm all excited because Del Grosso's is closed, but I was like, we were going to drive the whole way to Knoebels, but I'm like, man, it's hot. Like, that's a drive, you know what I mean? And dude, it was legit
that's a
too,
hook,
like,
man.
dude, and it was legit. Like, if we'd have been there a couple hours, it was too hot. Like, the kid was hot, we were hot. Like, so we get to Lake Mont anyway, and we go in, and all the gates are like, admission gates are closed or whatever. And I'm like, okay, so we can just walk in. So we walk in, and like what I remember from a kid is there was rides and like the arcade and there's candy, but like shit was going on there, dude.
I remember going over. Was there water slides?
There is now. They invested.
There was though, right?
Yeah, there was 2 back in the day and a bumper pull boat.
I remember walking and getting water splashed on me from like getting to the water slide.
Yeah, there was the water slide that the bridge came over to, the
Right.
old water slides.
Okay.
But now, when Del Grosso's built their water park, Lake Mont went and invested all on this. Like, it's almost an island you have to walk off of Lake Mont. It's like an island built in that lake park. So the only thing operational yesterday, because the whole water park shut down, I got to ride a paddle boats. We rode the Leap the Dips roller coaster, wooden roller coaster, which was cool because I did find out it is the oldest wooden roller coaster in the world. It's 100. It was built in 1902.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, and it is scary. Like you're looking at the wood,
that's like 100 years, 98 years old.
Yeah.
100 years in 2 years.
Yeah, dude. Isn't that crazy? Or no, that's 120 in 2 years.
Would it be?
Yeah, because 2002 would have been
1902 to
2000. Yeah, it'll be 120.
120.
Yeah, and think how many people have ridden that roller coaster like in 100 years. Like that's crazy, man.
Generations.
Upon generations. But then there was, like I said, the Leave the Dips, the paddle boats. They installed 2 miniature golf courses, and what else did we do? Well, there was one other thing. We played miniature golf. Yeah. That was it.
That's always a popular thing too.
Yeah, and they have a more kid-based miniature golf for younger kids, that have fun stuff like bears and stuff you have to hit around, which is the one we played. And then there's a more difficult one for, if you and your buddies or you're taking somebody out on a date or whatever, yada, yada, yada kind of thing.
Right.
But then they have like a big-ass basketball court you can rent, man. Like 4 full courts like put together. Like if you were having like a 3-on-3 tournament, like you'd rent this thing, you know what I mean? And it's then they have 4 full beach volleyball courts there.
This is all
Lake Mont now, and then there's skeletal remains of some of the freaking rides, but it's just the shells of
like
them.
you get to walk past them.
Yeah, you can walk right up to them. They're roped off, obviously, but that's it.
That like just hearing about when you were telling me about this made me think of some other stuff online. I find it fascinating myself to see pieces of the past in present
absolutely.
day. I mean, it's kind of like history, but not history. It's like a visual representation of history, if you will.
Yeah, it takes you to that time.
Duga 2, massive antennas. Otherwise, one of them, maybe both, known as the Russian woodpecker. It lets out like a woodpecker.
Yeah, you're saying
noise.
like a.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
you'll hear it ticking away. They say it's not in use. Who knows? I mean,
right. And I was just saying,
government ever lied ever?
Yeah, right. And that's just like the stations. The number stations.
Yeah, you be the judge,
Yeah.
And these shortwave radio stations just broadcasting random numbers to agents in the field, allegedly. But people are like, nah, we don't use them. We don't use them.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. That system is the oldest system, and you know what I mean. That's the oldest form of radio communication known.
Yeah.
So you're gonna tell me they're gonna completely go away with it when nobody's, you know what I mean? Nobody's almost watching that anymore. Like nobody's looking for taps anymore on Morse code, really. Like everything's so more advanced than that, I would think.
And just you think there's nothing around you? Just take a look online, and it's like, oh, where's their abandoned stuff? Like a lot of Lithuania, there's like a lot of abandoned factories in just the whole world over there.
A great one. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, even here, there's abandoned stuff. We have abandoned malls.
Yeah, a big one I was telling you about earlier is River Country at Disney World.
Yeah,
like that's a huge, right in the park.
They got an abandoned water
park. Yeah, and it's huge. It was the original water park at Disney. It was ran in the 70s, and what went on is what they used some of the lake water. You know what I mean? Instead of going into pools, you would go into the lake, but it was, you know what I mean? It was walled off and stuff, so you couldn't float out and die or anything.
I don't think lake water's too sanitary.
But they ran through sanitizing systems and whatever, but it apparently wasn't enough because OSHA shut it down. And now, I mean, you can get online and see pictures of River Country. I showed you a couple, just like trees growing throughout the water slides and everything else. And it's sad, man, because you think look back at the 70s, and I've actually watched videos from Disney in the 70s because I like to look at those time periods and people, thousands upon thousands of people on these water slides. Now they're just sitting there rotting away.
That's something I wanted to do. You said about back in the 70s. I didn't get to experience stuff then, but in the 80s, early 90s, possibly a few things experienced. But would it be the same as what I remember? Do you know what I mean? If I take my kids to it, is it going to be the same, or is it going to be all nerfed up and safe and OSHA compliant?
Well, right now it is definitely, man. I don't know, the whole mass thing was going on yesterday at Lakemont and all that, and they have the 6 feet apart things going on all the sidewalks.
I mean, aside from COVID.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would it be, because the world has changed massively.
Oh my God, man.
Because late 70s, we're not going to go back further than that. The 70s, going into the 80s, that was a much different world than it is today. Like people didn't care about much. I mean, they did care, but they didn't care about much in kind of the same fashion that how today everybody's got an opinion about everything and wants to, you know, oh,
Chime in on everything.
chime in, or you said something 5 years ago that could be taken as racist.
Right.
You need to lose your job now.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, that world didn't exist. The people going through it today didn't live back then, didn't understand those times, and it's not like I did either. I was a kid in the 80s, never saw the 70s,
No, same.
you know, but unless you go through something, live through a time, a decade, yeah, I know.
I did it. Go ahead.
Unless you live through it, can you really be an official judge on it?
No, I don't think so.
Make all the calls, or can you look at documented past history and can you be the official shot caller for that?
I don't
Like,
think, because I mean, documentaries are, opinion based.
right.
You know what I mean?
But whose
So
opinion?
that's
Yeah.
what I mean. Whose opinion? That's just somebody's opinion you're watching. Some say 70s were the best. Some say 70s. You know what I mean? There's a lot of shit that happened in the 70s, man. Like, look at what happened at the Olympics when that team got captured or whatever right inside the Olympics, that swimming team, and
Yeah.
a couple of them got assassinated, and like a whole bunch of stuff, bad stuff. All the
Sure.
yeah, like I can go on. Like I have watched documentaries on the years. I don't know if you've seen those ones on Netflix.
What is
Like
it?
they'll do the 60s, the 70s, and it's like
Oh,
a 10
yes,
episode
yes.
piece on each, decade. They're pretty cool. You learn a lot from them, but they go from the movies to everything.
Yeah, I don't know. I like documentaries at the same time. I don't sometimes because it depends who did it. Some people just go overboard
Correct.
and they go overboard on the wrong shit, and it's like you've been on a half hour about this useless information that's not even going to tie in at all just because you found that part fascinating, and you're like one in like 7 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of great documentaries, but there's also some
Crappy ones.
yeah.
I collect I collect a lot of Funko stuff. Like I have an app that actually tells me I have almost a $5,000 Funko collection.
So that's like toys.
Yeah, they make
pop culture stuff.
Yep, pop
Okay.
culture stuff, action figures, yada yada. But like they did a documentary. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was like one of the worst, and I was so stoked for it, dude. And it was horrible.
Stick toys.
Yeah.
They're pop culture collectibles. Not,
Yep. The pop
not
vinyls.
filmmaking, right?
No. Stick to toys, because it was horrible, horrible. It was basically like amateur video at like a Comic-Con. Is basically what it reminded me of. Like if I was to take a GoPro and go to a Comic-Con.
Right.
Yeah, it was that bad.
That's. I mean, it works. Some people dig that.
Yeah, but
Those start going to.
I did not.
Funny that like, and this wasn't planned. Some of this stuff is just off the cuff, just improvising. What we're talking about here today.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that about the GoPro, because if you ever went online and looked at any of these things we've talked about, the leftover parts of SeaWorld, abandoned asylums, hospitals, schools, Chernobyl, the Duga antennas, just anything, abandoned factories, just wastelands left from a different time in the past. And you see pictures online, there's people that's their whole lifestyle. Like that's what they got into. They saw a picture like, oh, I want to go see that. They get a camera. Some people use GoPros, but they also have like a good DSLR, good
Right.
mirrorless digital camera. And they've made careers. Like YouTubers have made careers. Millions of, hundreds of thousands up to millions of subscribers going, and one guy's kind of into heavy into parkour.
Yeah.
And goes and explores this abandoned stuff, this off-limits stuff, place you're not supposed to go. He did a trek across through the Chernobyl exclusion zone, and then at the end of summer, and then he went back and did it in winter. Like went to Chernobyl, stayed there a few days, toured around in the day, not with the official tour. It's just him, a guide, and a friend walking around filming it, and then back out. They did it at the end of summer and then again in winter. There's another, that's well, I'll put the names out here toward the end. Another two guys, and I think they get help from other people. They go around all the abandoned stuff, old artillery places, coal mines,
Yeah, yeah, old
s-
explosive shacks. Like,
sanitariums, hospitals, prisons, whatever. They go around, and they didn't just go there with a GoPro. They went there with quality cameras, do quality videos of them doing a walkthrough of it. And a lot of the places, like, if it's what, like, if you can just go there and nobody cares, they'll
it,
show that. But places where it's either got security, sensors, alarms, they'll actually, you'll see them going toward the location of the place, but then the video cut and it'll pick back up once they're inside. That way they're not broadcasting to the
yeah, yeah.
whole Googles and internet how the hell this is how you get in here. And for good reason too. You don't want mobs of people showing up, going into a place that's not supposed. You're not supposed
No,
to
no,
be.
no, 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 no. Somebody owns that somewhere along the line, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
somebody still owns it, whether it be a bank or whatever.
And it's just fascinating to see some of that stuff. And as much of it as there is, even in our country here, the United States, and then looking like the Chernobyl, and that one is pretty fascinating. He's not the only one that did it. Other people have done it, but he's probably the most famous that did it. It's Shy, a YouTuber, Shiey. Check that out. And then the other name of the guys that do the abandoned whatever is the Proper People.
Okay.
Anybody wanting to check this stuff out and see good quality content of abandoned, forgotten wastelands, leftover places, and anything you can think of, schools where kids were mistreated, back 50s, 60s,
Yeah,
yeah, stuff like that. They go and they literally check it all out,
that's
roll
pretty
in with
cool.
cameras, and yeah,
Yeah, I saw that. That's just a little bit off topic, but a little bit on topic. Like that Roland does, like the ghost thing or whatever.
no, what
There's
is it?
there's a paranormal group around here.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Okay, well they're doing the Roland again. They did it like 1 or 2 years ago, where they stayed the night there or whatever and toured or whatever, and they apparently found some activity there or whatever. But they're doing it again, and dude, it sold out in like a day or less. Like,
That's crazy.
yeah, man, like sold out. Like,
I
that's
don't know what my
insane.
thoughts are on paranormal.
I don't either. And like I said, I don't say no and I don't say yes. Like,
Is there unexplained stuff? Certainly.
yeah,
Is that what it is? I don't know.
my thoughts exactly. And yeah, I couldn't have said it
No,
better,
and
man.
some of the, like, Ghost Hunters, was that a show?
Yeah, yeah, I believe so.
Some of the ways those shows were done with just YouTubers have done it better than they have.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like you'll and they set it up so good. All this action's happening right almost at the climax for that episode, and it cuts to a commercial and it comes back, and then they do the little replay building it up again. And it's just like, did you hear that? No. Well, I did.
Yeah.
Nothing major, nothing serious at all. Yeah, I tried watching it. It was just every episode. It seemed like a different location with the same tactics,
Right.
but we're using better gear this time.
Yeah.
Same tactics to trick you into watching. I don't know. Entertainment, yes. If you're into that, and I'm not putting down anybody's likes, hobbies,
No, 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 no.
entertainment at all by any means. If that's your thing, go for it.
Yeah.
I'm undecided on it.
Yeah, yeah, same here. And that's just, you know what I mean?
There are people, however, that have challenges out there.
Mm-hmm.
I forget who the one guy is. Is it more than 1 million now? Where if you're an actual psychic, if you can actually present some type of telepathic or whatever powers, they'll pay you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
I forget
that.
who that is, but nobody's stepped up and done it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, there's a couple challenges all the way around.
Professor X is somewhere.
Right. There's also, I forget who it is. There's somebody that has we'll do whatever test you want, but we'll do it with proper equipment.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do it the right way. Show me that the Earth is flat, and you can have, like, I think it's like up to $18,000 or $20,000, maybe more. But there's no takers. There's people that contact them, want to do it, but never end up showing up or don't sign the clause, because if they show up to do it and don't do it, they're liable for that money then.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
there's money on the table,
Yeah, nobody wants to. It's hard to talk
Yeah.
then, man. Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to say something when it doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah, right. Or if you got a bunch of people sheeped into believing every word you're putting out.
Yeah.
And spout, yeah.
But just remember, everything you say can always cost you something. There is a freedom to speech, but there's always consequences to that freedom.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Very true. Yeah, freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom of actions.
Right.
And I
Right.
think some people kind of take it that way.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you can't. I don't know. There's a line to be drawn, and I can't say where exactly it's drawn, but
Right here, it's on my hand.
oh,
We're
well,
going.
there it was the whole time.
We're sinking to the lowest of the low on this show. We're getting into palm reading.
Yeah, yeah, tarot cards.
Yep, that's next week.
Call me now. Isn't that Miss Cleo used to say?
Yeah,
She'd be
that's
like, "Call me now."
It's the
Was-
great granddaughter of Miss Cleo.
Yeah,
That's the guest next week. Now I see, and people got to make a living.
Is Miss Cleo dead? Is that what you're telling me?
know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I'm gonna be
but,
upset if she was.
People have to make a living. I understand that, but should you do it by preying on people's emotions and when they're at a
I
weak
don't
point
think
in
so.
their life?
I think that's kind of a sick way to go.
Yeah, kind of scumbaggy.
Yeah.
Like a little beyond scumbaggy. Like,
Yeah. I don't know. It's taking advantage of somebody.
Yeah, and over something that you can't possibly know anything about.
Right.
But there's shows based on this.
Yeah, there's people that make lives out of this, taking advantage of people, man.
Isn't that what we're here doing?
I don't know. I can think of other ways that people do it, but
Other than podcasts?
Yeah,
live
well,
streams?
yeah,
True,
like-
certainly.
like manipulators, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
They're out there.
One thing I do want to say, though, if that is something you think you want to do, don't just, obviously, with anything, don't just rush in.
What, being a manipulator? Don't do that.
No.
Oh.
If that is something you want to do, go exploring. Do it properly. If you're going somewhere, don't just go in,
Yeah, recklessly go in, like,
Yeah, you're not going to recklessly go into a cave if you never went,
Right.
cave diving or whatever.
yeah, or,
Spelunking, whatever the
yeah,
hell
I
the
don't
word is.
even know what the word is, but yeah.
Don't just recklessly go into it. If you're getting into something, and I could see that being fascinating, going and checking out.
Oh, that'd
this
be
stuff.
awesome, man. I mean, look at have you ever been to Penn's Cave?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, yeah,
that's
it's
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, do it the right way. Another thing, quite a few people have documented it, but the people that have gotten the better views with it, and you see both the good and bad sides of it. People going into the catacombs in Paris, and there's under Paris. There's other places where there's catacombs as well. I think in the Ukraine, maybe under not Pripyat, Kiev, maybe. I think there might be catacombs there as well. But people went down there and they got somebody that knows it, because people have went down there, gotten lost, and haven't made it back out, like died down there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
No.
pretty creepy.
And that's another thing. The people that have done it and have put it in as part of their career did it the proper way. They didn't like, oh, here world, here's the entrance. They go meet up with somebody. They're on the way to it. They're shooting video the whole way. They get close, video cuts, picks back up when they're inside going.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, if and by any means, if you're doing anything like that, don't start exposing entrances that aren't exposed, or don't make how-tos and tutorials trying to get a little bit of fame or whatever by showing something that nobody else would. There's a reason they're not showing it.
Right.
Do you want to be
You don't want to be
liable or
that guy.
responsible for people getting hurt?
No.
No, definitely not.
No.
Yeah, that's it's just it's crazy. Everything going on in life, COVID, everything that's happened this year, and people still out doing this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, dedication to your art, dedication to our art. You know?
Right.
Talk about anything.
Yeah.
Crop circles coming up. Remember that.
Yeah.
Now, we covered everything as far as my list that I have.
Yeah.
And we got what was the first thing you brought up?
It was like month
Lake
thing.
Month,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep, we got everything I had.
Yeah, good times.
Great oldies. Literally.
We're the oldies, man.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're gonna cut it there. It is about time for the day job at night, people. I gotta go do that. As always, obligations are a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Big time.
Hey man, it happens.
It does. 5 days a week, unfortunately for me. 7 for you.
Yeah. I quit counting long ago.
No, I'm
You
sure.
got to.
I'm
At some
sure.
point, you just got to quit counting.
Yeah. Some of those 5 I double up on too. So
Right?
yeah, as well as you. So yeah, good times.
Anyhow,
Until the next time.
yes, have a good and safe week out there. Keep yourselves occupied.
Yeah.
Don't fall into the dumb stuff. I don't want to bring any apocalypse
No, I'm
or
over it. No,
apocalyptic news this week.
no, let's.
Like I said, I cover it when we feel like it. I think.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
it's something important. The one guy we brought up, there has been an update with him, but go online and check it out. The guy, the giant guy that got smacked off
the
for not
mountain.
moving. Yeah, he was a veteran.
Veteran, yeah.
It's like wow.
Yeah.
But anyhow, that bummer story aside. Oh, let me take 1 minute. I wanna talk about this real quick. So, and this kind of speaks as to a state of where our country is kind of heading, or has headed, is right now. The latest one of the latest offensible traffic violations that I'm aware of is you can look like you're gonna run a red light.
What?
Yes.
Did you get pulled over for that?
For looking like I was going to run a red light. Like, but I didn't. Well, you look like it though. Now, granted, I didn't. It was a verbal warning. I didn't get a ticket. No actual citation. You know, like threats if I could write you up for not wanting to improper use of a traffic safety control device or whatever. I don't know the wording. I'm not a.
Yeah.
But you look like you were gonna run that red light. Like that falls under like that. Is that possible? Is that possible?
Wow. That's like predicting the future, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Miss Cleo might have been
Right. Yeah,
Or that's what I'm
she
saying.
might be deputy.
Yeah.
That's a new one for me, man.
So be careful out there because you may be suspected of looking like,
Like,
you're gonna run a red light.
Yeah, or doing anything else.
And how do you do that? Are you like?
I don't know.
Are you sitting there
At that
like-
point, they could say you're looking like you're doing anything.
Are you sitting there like letting it creep forward in neutral, revving it up?
I'm gonna do it.
White
I'm
knuckling
gonna
the
do
wheel?
it.
Yeah. No.
That's
so,
unbelievable.
yeah, I thought I'd share that little
No,
tidbit at the end.
that's interesting. That's unbelievable. Okay,
And-
wow. It doesn't surprise me, but it's unbelievable.
Yeah. And there's two other things I could bring up. I'm not going to just because undoubtedly it'd be taken the wrong way.
Yeah,
And
no,
it's
I
just
get
a
it.
similar examples to that, but yeah, we're not gonna feed fuel to the fire.
No, I'm good on that.
Have a safe and happy week out there. Do something different this week. Learn something.
Yeah, be
Give somebody-
positive.
Yeah, be positive. Give somebody a hand.
Yes, unity.
Do something. Do something different that you didn't do last week or the week before or all the weeks since 2020 started.
Yeah, have fun out there.
And with that, people.
Yeah, yeah.